37-30. Scott up by 7 over the visiting Herbert Hoover Huskies. Not quite sure where they're out of, but I'm sure it's close by.
Elkview, Tony.
Elkview, okay. Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
A little geometry lesson for the day. Geography. God, maybe I just need to go back to school. Yeah, my teacher always told me you don't have to be the brightest man to be a broadcaster.
Oh, man. Well, it's one of the things, Tony. We've been out for a few years now, so.
Remember when he always told me the KISS method, keep it simple, stupid? I'm wondering if that last word there had a little extra meaning.
You don't think he was directing that towards you, do you?
Yeah, I mean, he always kind of looked at me all the time, but, it makes sense. Belcher out to Ward, open for 3, no good. As Harmon stays with it. It's 39-30 is your score.
Oh, man. He's
got up by 9.
He's wanting the referee. See?
7:24 to go here in this fourth quarter. Keep an eye on here at the scores table. Things could get a little rowdy. I think he's just going to ask for an explanation. He doesn't. Well, now he's getting his face. I like it.
Yeah, he immediately called.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
He just immediately wanted the timeout and was yelling for the official. He was across the court, Tony. Good part, but George going over and talking to him. That's the official's name. He calmly walked over. He's not a guy that gets excited real easy. But he ain't going to be showed up either.
They're still going at it. I tell you what, I'm surprised you haven't got the T-Birds out.
Yeah. Team up. He refrained, Tony. Let him speak his mind.
Good job there, Coach Gandy. And the official. This was like a good no call on a block, on a charging.
Yeah.
Block, charging, questionable either way.
But you got to think about like little situations like that when the coach does get in the referee's ear, Tony. If it helps his team down the stretch, maybe get that call that could go either way.
I know Zimmerman did it up at AB. He's a master of it. He won't admit it, but he gets at least 3-4 calls a game. That man does, and I've seen other coaches do it as well. I don't know if Kingery does it or not. He's just so random. I think it's hard to keep up with him.
Yeah.
But I think that's an actual strategy by a lot of coaches, and I think my time up at AB, I watched that firsthand there for 4 years. I mean, you don't talk about a guy that was constantly on the official.
It's not a bad strategy.
I mean, no. And he knew what his limits were. And the refs knew who he was. They knew they were going to, I'm sure they didn't look like getting that game under schedule. So that's why they get paid.
That's right.
Belcher for 3. That'll snap me out of my AB trance.
I tell you, Jesse, he showed up in the second half, Tony. I felt like he would be the X factor for the Skyhawk team.
He has 15, and he's had quite a few steals. I'm telling you what, he has been on not only the offensive end, he's been on the defensive end as well. And Matt Dolan over there gets the ball to Tully. Tully finding Ward in the paint, and Ward is having all kinds of problems finding his rhythm tonight.
He's been ice cold, hasn't he, Tony?
He's going to be fouled there. So he'll go to the line to shoot 2. They're going to give the foul to number 40, John Marshall. I have that as his first. There's the scoreboard. And Ward will go to the line 2 of 3 so far on the night from the line. So let's see what he can do here on these next 2 attempts. And kind of break this one open to a 14-point game. We were talking there in the break, John. It was only down to a 4-point game there, third quarter, but in the second half, it just doesn't feel like Hoover's ever really been a big part of this one. Like, no serious. Like, I never thought once in point in time that they were going to take the lead by a convincing fashion here in this one.
No matter how well John Marshall for Herbert Hoover, he shot the ball. He's not been able to shoot his team back in. They'll get on a run. They've cut it to 4 there at one time, 2 to 4 points. Just wasn't able to, to go on up above the Skyhawks. But, hey, we should know, man, covering them cardiac cats, what a team can do in the fourth quarter. So let's see if the Skyhawks can maintain this lead.
Yeah, if Scott was playing Logan up by 13, 14, 15 with this much time left, I wouldn't write off the Wildcats. They wait till about 2 minutes to go in the game till they crank it up a little bit.
Yeah, they absolutely turn it on.
I hope that don't bite him. I don't hope that don't bite him in one of these games. I really don't. I know a couple of the assistants were kind of concerned about that last night. But when you're beating Chesapeake and Wheeling Park in back-to-back games, you're doing something right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how you getting them close games helps you, I think, down the stretch for, a little tighter contest. You may not get as nervous.
43-30, 5:54 to go. Three-pointer up and good by Edens. Puts it down to a 10-point game, 43-33. Belcher here on the other end. Into Nevin Honeycutt. He goes up and finishes it. Quick possession there by the Skyhawks, but they knew what they were doing and they knew what they wanted. And Nevin Honeycutt got it and finished. And Scott yet again just extending that pressure out there beyond the three-point line. And he's left open in the corner again. No good. Honeycutt with the rebound. Gets it to Dolan. It's stolen away there by Cody Morris. Three-pointer by Edens, no good. No rebounder underneath. And it remains an 8-point game at 45-33, now at the 5-minute mark. So Belcher over to Dolan. Tully, Dolan open for three. They're going to call with the traveling violation. They're going to bring the big man Harmon back in. He's going to come in for Ward.
I think that's Dolan's second traveling call tonight. They got him for in the first half.
Dolan really has played a sound game. He's only got 4 points, but other than him, a couple turnovers there, he had a solid defensive night. And an air ball there by John Marshall. Ever since having his 11 of the team's 13 points there in the first quarter, I should say. He's kind of died down. He's only scored 2 cents. 4 cents, excuse me. He had 2 in the second quarter and 2 in the third. Now Harmon will go to the line to shoot 2 as number 42, Joey Forbes, picks up his third personal. Second team foul in the half. As Harmon misses on the first free throw. His first miss at the charity stripe tonight. Came into that one 7 for 7 by my calculations. And he misses both. But Dolan, the X factor right now, getting the offensive rebound and setting things up and taking some more valuable time off the clock for the Skyhawks. As Belcher's going to back it up, make it come out to them. Dolan open for three, front rim, no good. Rebound's going to go to Williams, and here we go with Herbert Hoover pushing the ball up the floor. John Marshall, he can't finish it underneath. Honeycutt blocks number 44, David Williams. And number 12, Clayton Edens picking up the foul here on the other end.
Never had position, Tony. Tried to slide in front of the guy. They'll get you with the block every time.
Especially when you have a speedster like Dolan. That was Dolan pushing the ball up the floor, if I'm not mistaken, correct?
It's Tully, wasn't it?
Tully, okay. Well, that's just a bulldozer then. You got to get out of his way, or if you want to get that charge, he's going to make you earn it. Dolan out to Belcher. He had a notion, but he's just going to pull it out and take some more time off the clock. And they're going to get him with the offensive foul. And Kingery doesn't like that one. What a riot, man.
Yeah, I think he feels like, Tony, that was a makeup call off this Tully call that we just saw on this sideline.
I don't see how that should have been a makeup call because that was an obvious blocking violation.
It's me too.
Hey, I'm telling you, Coach Gandy over there playing the politics. I think that's where he gets one.
Yeah.
We saw it last night with the Chesapeake crowd as a whole getting in the heads of the officials, getting them in the makeup call game.
I'd never seen it like that, Tony. That was pretty wild.
They were in. Me being from Ohio, man, I tell you, you can't make Ohio people happy. Logan up by 12, 3 minutes to go.
Scott.
Oh, yeah, wow, thank you. Scott. And one.
Yes, sir.
For number 40, John Marshall. Welcome back to the scorebooks, my young man.
It's a good basket in traffic, wasn't it, Tony?
It was. Foul's going to go to Jesse Belcher. That's his third. And he misses the 1-and-1. .250 to go here in the fourth quarter. Scott up by 10. Skyhawks getting the ball down low to Harmon. Oh, wow. Well, let's just say Kimmerer didn't agree with that call.
Well, I mean, Harmon's so long, Tony, when he does plant that pivot foot and does the spin, it does look like a walk. I mean, his stride is so long.
Yeah, it's not his fault that 2 steps equal 10 yards.
Yeah.
Ball don't lie, my friend. The ball does not lie. Ward there putting it out. Makeup call.
Yep.
Scott will get one back, or they're not going to call a foul. I don't know what happened there. Must have stepped on the baseline. Either way, it's a turnover back to Scott with 2:26 to go. Up by 10 over the Huskies of Herbert Hoover in this Cardinal Conference game. Tully about had it stolen away. It's still on the deck. That's going to be last touched by, well, it looked to me like the last one touched that was number 22, Carter Coleman. But apparently Belcher got the last finger on it there.
I don't know how Belcher, being 5'6", gets his hand on that, Tony.
He's just full of energy tonight, Belcher has. He has just been screaming and fist pumping it and motivating his team all night. He's had some offensive and defensive. Ward. Offensive defense, good plays there by Belcher, I should say. I was trying to say. And Ward with about his 4th or 5th block on the night. And Harmon can't handle the pass out of bounds. They had 2 players there in the same position. And it seems as Dolan cut. Harmon wasn't expecting that one there. And we have a timeout taken here by Herbert Hoover. 1:45 to go, down by 10. We're going to pause, and we're going to come right back with the end of this one. Here in this Cardinal Conference matchup, Scott Skyhawks 45, the Herbert Hoover Huskies 35. Here at the Hawks Nest in West Madison, West Virginia on wvsportsnet.com.
Your sports voice of the Valley.